Hey, it's Kevin from Rotor Ramble. I have something I've been resisting till I got camera set up and wanted to go through. This is the all-new DJI Avata 2. Just came in today and I wanted to share the joy of unboxing this with everyone here. So this is fresh from DJI. Let's take a look at it. All right. This is the Fly More package. Got 3 total batteries, carrying case, all that good stuff. I always love the photography they do for the products. Always good looking. Here it is. We've got a QR code for the manuals. And here's the carrying case. All right, and everything is nicely bundled inside the carrying case, it looks like. Remember how this is set up, because I will never get it back in this the same way again. So here's the drone itself. That is smaller than I expected, actually. Smaller and lighter by far than I expected. So this little guy kind of reminds me of the smaller drones. I've seen the Avata before, but maybe I just don't remember it. The props feel very thin, almost too thin, but I'll trust DJI knows what they're doing when they make these. Got the lens cap and the camera cover. Get one of the batteries out here. So those batteries feel very nice and light. Amazing that these things can do a 20-minute flight, so they say. All right. In addition to that, of course, we've got the new goggles. All right, new goggles. We've got a little foam protector here. We've got the new headrest here, forehead rest. Got the adjustable diopters. That's not the easiest to get out. Maybe I need to be left-handed for it. There we go. All right, new goggles. Let's see. Got loosening and fitting. All right, they are very, they feel very dark, which sounds dumb to say, but that means there's not as much light being let in. This is not a flip-up display, unfortunately. That'd be kind of cool, but it's got a nice rubbery smell, new goggle smell. That'll take some getting used to, apparently. Let's see, power for these, I believe. There's the antenna. Let's see if this will turn them on. Oh, there's the power button on the bottom. So it shipped with a little bit of battery life here. So along with the Fly More, here's the batteries. Extra batteries and charging case. I almost feel like that should have a little holster. What else we got? And here is the controller, the motion controller. It is a lot smaller than I expected. A lot smaller than I expected. That's what she said. And we'll put the strap in here. There it is, the motion controller. So let's see if we can power some of this stuff up. I also did get the FPV remote controller, the standard remote controller for FPV, because I plan on doing more than just through the nunchuck. So that pretty much empties out the case, but we've also got a whole bunch of accessories here. Looks like we've got additional lenses. I see a USB cord here. Okay, so I think this is an additional headrest, so you can expand the foam. This should be a USB adapter, so USB-C to USB-A adapter. Probably won't be using a whole lot of that. Looks like a bunch of manuals and stuff. You know where those go? In the pile. Extra props, those will definitely be good to have. Like I said, these feel very, very thin. I don't want to say flimsy, but they feel a little light. And then, of course, I've got USB cable. So this is a USB-C cable, USB-C to C. Keep that tidied up for now. And we've got an Allen key for adjusting. I know we use one in here for adjusting the tension. So I don't know if that's an extra for that. Actually, it's probably for changing the props. So the props now have a screw. Let's see if that fits. Yep, that's for the props. So that's pretty much the kit. That's the Fly More combo, plus the added Remote Controller 3. I'm going to see how I can power some of these things on. Okay, so there's the remote. I keep expecting the same. There we go. There's the goggles. So this battery must be either in a sleep. This battery must be either in a deep sleep or something else. Now this says do not touch the air intake to avoid burns. So the air intake must be right in here. Well, so now that I've got everything unpacked, let's try to get a couple of things set up here. So goggles, they are blurry out of the gate here. And adjusting the diopter here. Alright, so this is going through instructions how to adjust the headband. Alright, real view on goggles. Tap twice to operate. It's pretty cool. Just to add a couple more notes about the Avata. I found that you needed to make sure you had updated the DJI Fly app before actually getting it registered and getting it to work. I found that when I tried to connect, my app was actually not up to date. I thought I had auto updates on, or I do have auto updates on, and it wasn't the latest that had been pushed. So I had to go to the App Store and actually download the latest DJI Fly app. With the goggles, I kind of had a hard time locking in the focus to what I expected to see. So I'm wearing contacts. I wear contacts. I didn't expect that to be an issue. I ended up at about a -1 on the goggles. I didn't expect to have to adjust it anything but 0. I could still see at 0, but I just felt most comfortable around the -1. So that was kind of interesting, unexpected. So I found it helpful to actually add the additional pad to the bumper. So this just peels on and off. You can add a little extension on there. And I found that to be a little more comfortable for me. It wasn't so much about my eyelashes hitting or being anywhere too close to it. I just felt like it was a little more comfortable to have it a little bit further away. Definitely a different field of view, whereas the old goggles have a very wide, virtual screen. It looks very wide. These are a smaller screen in the field of view. They initially had a rubbery smell to them. They don't really, after having them for a little while, I haven't noticed that. So I think it's just a new out of the box thing. When you go to register this with the FAA, it's helpful to note that right inside is the serial number. It's right next to a little QR code. For those Mac and iPhone users, when you go to register, you can actually use your QR code reader on your phone, and you can copy that number into your clipboard and paste that in to the registration on the FAA's website. Makes it super easy to get the right serial number registered. So I didn't record the first flight, but a couple of things I noticed when I first started up the drone with the motion controller. I must have had it slightly tilted when I started it up. So once it started hovering, it just started drifting. It just started yawing in a circle, and I couldn't figure out exactly why. It's because I had that tilted. Half a press, if you just have half a press on the trigger, it will start responding to your movement. So up, down, it'll yaw with your movement, yaw or tilt the camera with the movement. So just kind of a note on that. It took me a minute or so to figure out how to get the thing hovering. One of the features I really like about the Avata 2 is the live streaming. I've got a couple events where I am going to be doing some live streaming to YouTube and potentially other platforms. So I wanted to be able to have the option to live stream FPV. And the Avata 2 does have the ability to do a pass-through Wi-Fi streaming to the phone through the DJI Fly app. Can live stream to an RTMP source such as YouTube, Facebook. I do a custom RTMP server and can stream directly to that, which will redistribute the video from there. That's done all wirelessly. One little tip is in the advanced settings, under the camera advanced settings, you can actually choose whether or not you want the camera view with the heads-up display, so the goggles view basically, or if you want just a clean feed from the camera. So you can decide if you want what you're seeing through the goggles to appear on your phone or the live feed. That also controls what is being recorded through the goggles. Let's talk a little bit about manual mode and the FPV Remote 3. So I did get to try out manual mode using the FPV Remote 3. One of the things you need to do during setup is you peel back the grip, and then you can use these two screws. So there's F1 and F2. It's actually F2 that you want to tighten all the way first, and then you can adjust the tension on F2. F1 will release the spring, so you get the standard FPV style controller. So that's what will control the power as opposed to just up and down. When you go into full manual mode, I wasn't sure initially how it would work if you're using the sticks down into the center like a typical DJI. What I found is you take off like you normally would in normal mode, and then you can use the switch on the front to choose manual mode. Once you've chosen manual mode, the on-screen display will want you to confirm that by putting the sticks in a certain position. It's about 25% power and centered on the right stick. Once you've enabled FPV mode, then it behaves fairly close to a standard FPV drone. It's got a different feel to it. It's hard to explain. It seems to do more for you, so it's not quite like acro mode, and it's not quite like angle mode. So I think it's going to take a little getting used to. I don't know honestly how much I'll use manual mode with this. If I want to fly manual, I'll probably grab my 5-inch freestyle drone or my Cinewhoop, and I'll just have fun with that. When you're flying with the FPV Remote, it really flies just like a standard DJI drone, except you're viewing it, of course, through FPV. So it is a lot more responsive than, a Mavic or, any of the other drones. So talking a little bit about the charger, this is the one that came with the Fly More kit. I do like the style overall. It's pretty compact. It's got a really good feel, like the batteries aren't going to come out. You can have it oriented however. I feel like I could charge it from a car and be just fine. They're locked in once they're in that drone, so you can have it upside down and the batteries aren't going to fall out. It does charge through USB-C. I really like that DJI has started using USB-C for their charging. I do feel like it would have been nice for the DJI to include the power supply, a good quality charger with the Fly More package for sure, and even with the standard drone kit. It sure would have been nice to have. The other thing to note, I don't remember it being pointed out too many times, they are lithium-ion batteries instead of lithium polymer or LiPo batteries. Where I see myself using the Avata 2, I'm planning on doing more indoor flights such as real estate fly-throughs. It was a lot easier to fly this drone through the house, through tight spaces, hallways, through doorways, even around furniture. Didn't feel like it was really risking damaging anything in my house. I didn't have too much stuff fly away. It really didn't disturb much around my house when I flew it. And it was really steady. I did bump into the walls a couple times, especially going up and down stairways. I did do a full house fly through. Overall, I like the Avata. I think it would be a good drone for beginners. But I definitely want to keep flying my other quads. It's definitely not going to replace any of my FPV drones. If I'm going to go out and have fun flying, it's probably going to be my freestyle drone that I pick up first. If I want to do great photos, I'm going to pick up my Mavic 3 Pro. If I'm going to be flying in tight spaces like indoors and need good control over the drone, I don't want it drifting away, then that's a good use for the Avata. If you have any questions about the Avata or anything else drone related, feel free to put them in the comments. Contact us through rotorramble.com. Connect with us on social media, and we'd be happy to answer those questions. I think that's it for now. Happy flying!